2 weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. He sets to fire deep. He's got a man complete. Shrugs off it, and he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, 77 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Turn 2 stop. Check 53 block. Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room.
To throw is Ross. Off the play fake. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Tackle. Greystone, Travis.
The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. 23 carries, 93 yards, and a score.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Let's get a quick Look at the Saints offense.
And they should be set up for a big game. They have one of the hottest offenses in the league. They're coming in riding a winning streak, but we've seen these quick turnaround games really wreak havoc with what you've done previously. Hopefully they simplified their offense, and they'll just let their playmakers go out and do what they do best.
Ross now from the gun on third down. Thomas has got it, complete. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the first down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. Third down conversion here is big. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Push it back. Rock it.
Here's Kamara off the draw. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. A look now at the defensive starters for Philadelphia. They played really well in the win last week over the Redskins.
And the big thing for them was the interceptions. And you hear teams all the time talk about establishing themselves against the pass. You know, no-fly zones and things of that nature. This group had a bunch of them in last week's game.
54. Mike 54. Exit. Ready.
Here's Ross on 3rd and 2. He finds Latavius Murray. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Ross. Pressure comes and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Fletcher Cox forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Hey, watch it. Two jet bombers. Get it.
Looking to throw. Ross trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. Thomas, the intended target. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt. About it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. They'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And he gets it down to the 32. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
A quick throw. It's Arcega-Whiteside. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork blend. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play. And sometimes it can break big.
Throwing now is Wentz. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting him to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
Woods now to throw. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Ross looking to throw on 2nd down. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Check. Hey, orbit. Check. 53's Mike. Check. 53.
Back to throw. Ross. And Thomas has it. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 28 yards to gain there on the catch and run.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Let him know. Kill. Recon, 132 fighter.
2nd and 9 now. That's caught. It's Thomas. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a 1st down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Check 37. Check 99. Check 99. Go on.
They'll run it with Kamara. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Here's another 1st and goal, but from a little further back this time following the penalty. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here are the Eagles to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll pass there over the middle to start things out. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Philadelphia picking up the 1st on a gain of 15. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Now a give, right side. Heron. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball. Patches.
On 2nd down now. It's Sanders. Call it a gain of 5 that time. They'll be left with a 3rd down and about 9 to go.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Wentz. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Harris to return. A beautiful fake. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Alvin Kamara and the Saints set to start their next drive. And no doubt he's come out of the gate strong. Only in week 3, and you see the numbers thus far.
And we always talk about identity, setting a tone, you know, getting the groundwork laid for the season or for a game. And that's what they've done with the running game so far. It reminds me of when I first went to the University of Tennessee. And believe it or not, I was a quarterback for a day and a half. And the first practice session, the first play we ran was 28 pitch, which is a toss sweep. And I remember the offense coordinator saying, that's our identity, that's our bread and butter, that's the basis of our offense. We got to get that down right here, right now. I think we're seeing some of that in this running game here.
So did you not get that down, and that's why you were moved to the defense, or what?
I don't know for that reason, but I do know I saw a couple of guys throw, and immediately they were saying, you know, you need to learn how to backpedal.
Hey, you turn into a heck of a DB, though, partner.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Under 10, 10. Shoot.
Now Ross on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter, 14-7. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. He was a second-round pick. Many scouts thought he could have gone higher than that.
And I was one of them. Even though I don't scout for any particular team, I had a first-round grade on him. And frankly, I'm surprised he lasted to the second round. They got a steal with this player.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
It's caught by Jackson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Defense. Let's go, defense. Here we go.
They'll run on first down. Herron. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Wentz. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. Again, it's Wentz. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Eagles able to push further out in front.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Let's go.
The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff?
Yeah.
Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here.
Down. 30 base. 54 Mike. We all in there. Hey, shoot. Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing. 54 Mike. He's driven.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Trying to lay one up deep. Got a man that's caught at the 6-yard line. Touchdown, New Orleans. Keith Kirkwood. His first touchdown here of the new campaign as his guys are back within a single score. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that's the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Play fake to Sanders. Now here's Wentz. Open man is Arcega-Whiteside. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle first down. His big game continues. Already has the 3 touchdown grabs, tacking on some more yardage and a first down.
And how precise has his route running been in this game? We just saw him get open yet again. He's also made adjustments as the defense has tried to really stop him.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors. But overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Kamara trying to right side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Traquan Smith, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now followed by fumble. It's out. It's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. To throw is Ross. Operating from the gun. 20. Open man is Michael Thomas. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Lutz good on the extra point, and we are tied at 21. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game. We'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You've got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
On 2nd and 9, Wentz, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Wentz. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Alvin Kamara and the Saints set to start their next drive. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the 3rd quarter. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game.
61, matchbox, light. Hey, high 7. Go.
Ross now on 1st and 10. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked out and incomplete. Nigel Bradham, the linebacker, right there on the coverage.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he's going to take this close to the 1st down markers. He stopped at the Eagles' 29.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
Again, it's Kamara. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards there, good for a Saints 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Defense wins championships, baby. Hey, stand up. 2.
They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Ready. 90 Wolf. 53. Wishbone, Travis. Alert. Check. Watch the twist.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. 2nd and 2. Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Michael Thomas with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Saints have taken the lead. Lutz with the extra point.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. This is taken at his 4. Now a hit and a loose football.
When you kick off and you go downfield and get the ball back, that's what I call a great opportunity.
In a one-score game, I always circle, and you know this, but in my play-by-play sheet, I circle big plays that could be turning points. This could be a turning point.
Did you put a second circle around this one? This
I put a star. I put a star. A run there on first down and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the third. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now Wentz. Catch is made by Arcega-Whiteside. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 7 yards there and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Wentz now 13 out of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a first down. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. From the 36, Wentz. He rifles one that's intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
6, bullet high.
Here's Ross throwing on first down. He gets it to Thomas. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Let's go. 60 outlaw. 54. You must be drinking.
The busy night continues for Kamara. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know. Well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Now a chance to make that encroachment penalty really hurt. 1st and 5. They run it again with Kamara. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
First seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, Ross. He's got it. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide.
And now it's blocked. The Eagles have got it. Does the big boy have the juice? But he will not be able to bring this one back, and the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
I remember when they changed the rule, and there's a lot of consternation, especially coming from the kickers. Okay, how's this going to affect things, having to kick a longer one now, much more of a field goal attempt, and the defensive guys saw it as an opportunity to get more block.
That's exactly right. There's more effort now. Before, when it was snapped down near the goal line, you would basically see guys just stand there.
Yeah, not anymore. Now, those guys are going after it because not only can they knock it away and change a little bit of momentum,
and get 2 points.
They can pick it up and take it back for 2 points.
Yeah, after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. This will be taken about the 12. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. Past the 20. 10. Touchdown, New Orleans. He returns the kick 88 yards to the house. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Yeah, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
What's good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Looking left side. He's got it. Complete. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
To throw again on second down. Wentz, and his throw is incomplete. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver. Third down here. Another incomplete pass there. What do you take from this game offensively?
Well, you know it's tough to really analyze for them because it is a team game, right? Let's be honest, though. The defense did them no favors in this one at all. Offense actually moved the ball. So, bottom line, film session, defense is going to be a real tough one for them. Offense, they'll get a little bit of praise.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15. Wentz now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now the throw here complete on the right sideline. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now Wentz again. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now Wentz. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Saints will have the football back. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on fourth. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't. Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts. Of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through three quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Alert 3, alert 3, alert 3. Stick down, check stick down.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 first down gains.
53, 53. Leo. Switch gears.
Now a handoff here to his running back. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Looking to throw. Ross looking for the ends. That is caught. Traquan Smith. Touchdown Saints. Traquan Smith. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team.
Complete to Traquan Smith. Touchdown, New Orleans. Will Lutz lining up for the point after.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Lutz with the extra point. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Wentz now on first down. Caught by the tight end, Ertz. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, 57 yards. And the Eagles make some inroads here on that deficit. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that'll make this a 19-point ball game. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. The tackle made by L.J. Ford.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on third down. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for New Orleans, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, they suffered defeat for the first time as they dropped to 2-1. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
The young, incredible one.